Hey, welcome back, friends. My name is Jeremiah, and before we begin the episode, I want to offer two corrections. The first one is about a game of Warhammer Underworlds that we talk about in the beginning of the episode. It's a game between my son Oz and me, and I report that I had won the game. Unfortunately, afterwards, Oz and I went back and we reviewed the rules, and there was one rule that we did not apply correctly. And so when we do that, we see that Oz won by one glory point. So we want to offer that correction, and good job, Oz. The second correction I want to offer is the dates surrounding the upcoming King of Coins event. The season is still going to start on March 4th, but the end of the season, we have a eight-person invitational event, and that's to cap off the whole thing and to declare who our King of Coins is for the year. And unfortunately, the date that we had selected, we're getting bumped due to a Magic the Gathering release event. If any of you play Magic, you know that every store in the city will be packed, and there will be no room for other games such as a lowly War Machine. Anyway, I'm working with the host store. It's going to be Guardian Games because they're kind of central to everyone, and we're going to have another date. It looks like it's going to be April 13th, and so that'll cut our season short by a couple of weeks, but I think there's still plenty of time to have adequate games and plenty of time to have a lot of fun for the event. And anyway, as we get closer, of course, we'll continue to report on the standings during the event, but we'll confirm the date of that of the invitational. It'll be current on the website, and it'll also be current on the COG Collective forum event page and on the Discord channel if you are following on the Discord channel. Anyway, it's been a while since we recorded, and so I'm really excited to get back into the swing of things, and I really hope that you enjoy this episode. Thank you. Welcome back to Spellstorm Miniatures. This is episode 11. My name is Jeremiah.
And I'm Dan.
And Dan, it is so good to be recording with you again. You know, we hit 10 episodes a few weeks ago, which is like the milestone for most podcasts. Like, if you can hit 10, you're suddenly a real podcast. And so we became a real podcast. And then I promptly went on a lot of business trips, traveling for work and whatnot. And we haven't recorded in like 3 or 4 weeks. Oh, the shame.
Yeah, it does happen. You know, life gets in the way, but...
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking about miniatures with you, talking about games again. Hey, we have a sponsor for this event, or for this episode, rather. This episode of Spellstorm Miniatures is brought to you by Hidden Forest Gaming. Hidden Forest Gaming provides game mats and terrain sets for all your gaming needs. Listen for a special discount code to receive 10% off your next purchase. Dan, what are we going to be talking about today?
So today we have a fun subject of the King of Coins event.
Ooh, it's finally here.
Right? We've been talking about it. We've been leading up to it. I think we finally got the details worked out that we can...
Yep. I have held the coins in my hand. They are nice. They're a little extra thick. They're about 6 millimeters tall, and so they feel nice in your hand. They have hand feel. Is that right?
Sure.
You know,
tactile goodness.
There you go, tactile goodness. Well, I was just thinking about, you know, when you drink beer or something. A lot of times, one of the characteristics of a good beer is mouthfeel. Right? They talk about that anyway. Before we get to the main topic, let's talk about some games. I know the Masters just wrapped up. Well, the pods anyway did and whatnot. But have you played any non-War Machine games lately?
For non-War Machine, no. Just haven't really focused. I was mainly focused on War Machine the last couple weeks.
Yes, you have, and to great reward. We'll get to that in a second. Ozzy and I've been doing a lot of modeling lately, I suppose. Currently, I'm working on my Desert Hydra, and it is a beast of a model to put together. There are a lot of gaps, and the plastic is a hard plastic, and so it's not nice to it's not nice to like maneuver and to squeeze into tight spots. But as far as non-War Machine games go, Ozzy and I have resurrected Shadespire, or I guess it's just called Warhammer Underworlds. So it's that small skirmish game, kind of set in the Age of Sigmar universe, and you play on boards that are hex based, and there's also a deck building element to it. So every warband will have, anywhere from 3 to 8 miniatures, depending on your particular warband, and it's set. You buy them as a set, and they get cards, and you can mix and match those cards with the other cards that you get from other sets and the starter set and things like that. And you basically have 2 decks. You have the objective deck, which is how you win. You earn glory points or whatever, and the most glory points wins. And then you have like a adventure deck or something where you have equipment so you can upgrade your characters, and you have ploys cards that you can play to kind of manipulate the game field or whatever. It's a fun game, and it can be played very quickly. And so, for example, last night, Ozzy did dishes, homework, all done. We have time before he goes to bed. Instead of playing Yu-Gi-Oh, we pulled out Shadespire, and we had a great game. I ran my Khorne Blood Reavers or whatever against his Fire Slayer Berserker warband. So basically, a bunch of guys with no shirts on carrying axes. That's what
There you go.
It's nice. And so at the end of the game, I only had one model left on the board, but he was at the right place at the right time. And so at the third round, I was discarding objective cards and drawing a new one, and I did that twice for the final 2 actions of the game. Both cards I drew were objectives that one model could score.
Oh, jeez.
And so I was actually able to win 11-8 last night. My last objective that I drew gave me 6 glory points. Ozzy was a little miffed, but I mean he played a good game. He was scoring every round where I wasn't. All my points came in the last round. So, but I got lucky with my draws, I guess. So that's my big Shadespire, hoorahs. So it's a great game. So, what about War Machine games?
So yeah, War Machine, like I said, we wrapped up the pods, and of course, in good fashion, we had 4 weeks to complete 4 games. I got my first game done in the first week, and the last 3 in the last week. So
Nice.
Just kind of all crammed in there.
I think I kind of paced myself. The last week I had to play 2 games, but I was able to, even with my traveling schedule, I was able to squeeze in a game kind of in the middle of the season, if you will.
Yeah, that's good to kind of spread them out, because like I said, for me it was so much focus. It seemed like, and playing 3 games in a week is a lot for me. If it's not like a tournament day.
Yeah.
So,
but good games, I hear.
Yeah, so they all went pretty well, surprisingly. Like I said, I'd lost my first game against Andrew there, and then I was like, okay, well, hey, at least I can maybe get a wild card slot going for that. And I was able to play into Grimkin and pull out that win. Some dice, just just went right and got that victory. And then I played, you and me played.
Yes.
Which was a good one. Yours was a little bit easier to prepare for since you only ran 1 list.
Oh, I made it easy for everyone.
Yeah.
I Ironmanned my 1 list. Okay, I have an objective, right? My goal this year is to improve as a player, but also to improve as a Scorn player. And so I want to learn all of my stuff as I go. And so I'm dedicated to playing a minimum number of games on my Warlock before I move on to another one. And so I just, I didn't even waste anyone's time. I just said I'm playing 1 list, and so all of you got to pick your best list against me, and which gave me a hard scenario most of the time, which was great.
Right.
And I mean, as someone who's trying to get better, it was a fantastic exercise for me. So yeah. So what did you choose against me?
I ended up playing Madrak 1.
Yeah. And I had Zakar 1.
Yeah.
In case our audience doesn't know.
There you go. And we were squaring off on what's that one called? with the 2 rectangle zones and the flags. There's no circles, objectives, crossed. Oh, I can't think of the name right now.
I don't either. I don't have my diary in front of me either.
Yeah, and so I thought it was going to be a rough game because he had a lot of beasts. And so I was pretty much like, okay, I'm just going to, cram people at you. Maybe just slow you down. And then surprisingly enough, in the first one, I got some good rolls. I know we had a little debating question on incorporeal and melee, and that was kind of like, we were like...
Yeah, that I think in the scenario game, if we would have got that ruling right, it would have kept our points closer. Yeah. I think you still would have been up by 1, though.
Yeah.
It
might have. I mean, I could have swung, because then you did get, I rolled high enough, but then you could have shield guarded, but you were distracted by us talking about the defense and forgot to shield guard.
Yeah.
Either way,
I'm not sure if Madrak could have hit 2 boosted 18s.
Maybe not. I had a couple melee guys, but then they would have. It might have put us 1 closer, maybe taken me 1 CP down, which in the grand scheme actually might have been better for me.
Yeah. Well, either way, I think you're destined to win our game.
Yeah.
So.
We did a lot of back and forth. But we made turn 7.
I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah.
That was my first game ever going to turn 7.
That was pretty crazy. Yeah.
It was hectic at the end for me. It was hard for me to actually track what was happening.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going fast and furious because you went underneath 1 minute. I was underneath 10 seconds. And, so that was a crazy game. It was a good time, though, and just getting that done.
Yeah, I was really disappointed because, I usually play hardcore on scenario. And that week I played against Remy, and he was up on me on scenario points, and then you were up on me on scenario points. It was a sad week for me. I was like, oh, pad send it.
It's like the most CP you've given up like all year.
I know. I gave up 9 against you.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. I've never given. I don't know. Yeah, normally I'm like super aggressive on that.
So
how'd your last game go?
And then the last one was against Grimkin again. So the first Grimkin was Jesse into Wanderer, which was again interesting because I never played Wanderer and learning about his shenanigans, and then played against, like I said, Remy and his list, which was totally mind blank right now.
Did he play Dreamer against you, or did he play?
No, he wasn't running Dreamer.
Oh, the old guy, right?
Yeah, Heretic. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so again, I just never really see Heretic on the board, I guess. But it was again a pretty good game. We only went to turn 4 on that one before the clock just came an issue for him.
Yeah.
I went down pretty low on clock, but dice hated us in both of those on both sides. They were hot, then they were really cold. Then they were hot, and then they were cold for like needing a 5 or a 6. There was one roll I did a boosted. I rolled 3 1s and 2 2s.
That's a hard roll.
Like that's rough. Anyway, so I ended up winning our pod. Again, I thought I was just going to try for a wild card slot, and end up getting the win there. So I'm in the final 8.
Yeah, because you finished 3-1.
Yes.
And Andrew finished 3-1.
Correct.
But the difference is CP.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had quite a bit more CP.
I was stingy against him in my game.
Yes, you get like nothing, I think. And so now I get to get into the single elimination bracket of our top 8, and how the seeding goes. I get to play against Eli in his Circle of Death.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, he went 4.
He's on a roll right now.
He went 4-0 in his.
Yeah.
And so I'm not looking forward to that this week.
Yeah, I played Eli in a practice game in like January because I asked to play into Circle, and it was a fantastic experience for me. Something I didn't like, but it was a good experience. So, So in our pod, I finished 1-3, I think.
Yeah.
Last place, I think.
No, Remy was 0-4.
Oh,
then,
okay.
Jesse and Andrew both went, and myself went 3-1.
Wow, 3 3-1s. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. All right. Okay, and then so the next step for you then after the pod rounds is to play in the single
Correct.
elimination, top 8?
Yep.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. I think if I get through that, then I have to, if I get through, then I gotta face even more hard gas. So just it's.
I don't know.
tough climb.
I mean, they're great players, but I wonder if the list that Eli's running is going to be the greatest challenge, if you can get through that.
Right. I think that will be the hardest part. Yeah.
Well, why don't we get to our main topic? We're here to announce the good news that King of Coins is finally here. And so, Dan, why don't you give a brief overview? What is the King of Coins?
All right. So the King of Coins is going to be kind of a more leisurely event.
I think we've dubbed it casually competitive.
Yeah. There you go. That's a pretty good way.
I like alliterations.
Yeah.
It's the teacher in me.
There you go. And so the general overview, without getting too much fine detail, I guess, on it as we go on, is we'll hand out 8 coins. And so these 8 coins will represent different factions, 4 original hordes for the original war machine.
Mm-hmm.
And
these coins are 50 millimeter in diameter.
Correct.
So they actually can work as a proxy for a large base.
Yes.
So they're functional. And for those of us that still don't have feat tokens, it could be a feat token. Hint, hint, Jeremiah.
Yeah, we'll get there. You just got to win them. And so you get these coins, and then you kind of have to defend them. People will challenge you for the coin. And anyone who participates, buys in to be a part of it, gets to challenge for the coins. And you can only have 1 coin at a time, sort of thing. Challenge somebody basically anywhere, any place, anytime you guys can agree upon. Rather it's in a game store, at your house, at during a tournament, even just wherever you are. Go ahead and buy in, challenge for that coin. The winner takes the coin.
Yep.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. If you're Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No worries.
I know we're going to have more information as we continue the conversation.
Right. And so then those final 8 after the season ends will be part of the invitational, essentially, and your admittance to that. And that'll be a typical 8-player steamroller at that point to get your 1, 2, and 3 and your King of Coins winner.
Yep. Exactly. And that's awesome. You get to be called the King of Coins for, the title alone is a reason why I want to participate in this event and try to win.
Right.
The purpose of the event is to promote engagement and just friendly competition. It's going to be similar to, I suppose, the way the Masters event was organized, where you were going to have a season where people will just play games, and then and we're envisioning these coins changing hands week to week, day to day, store to store, and so we're excited about it. And the caveat is, in order to keep it, I guess, so we're comparing apples to apples, is every game has to be a 75-point game, and you have to play on the clock. And so all 3 win conditions must be in place. Scenario victory, loss or victory on clock, or victory by assassination. And so that way, every game where there's a potential for a coin to change hands, it is the same as any other game that's out there. And we want to encourage people to just warm it up a little bit, in your weekly games. Or let's say you're at a tournament, let's say you're at Next Level Gaming, and you happen to get paired with someone who is also participating in the in the King of Coins event. To add a little spice to your game, you could challenge them for their coin.
Exactly. That's the fun of it, right?
Yeah. We have a full set of rules listed on our website, spellstormminiatures.com, and just go to the King of Coins page, where we'll have all of the details there. But I enjoy this topic. I enjoy talking about it, and because I think it's a great time to be a War Machine player, and we have a great community of people, and I have met some just fantastic folks who I call friends, and And so I'm excited to offer this to the community and see what they come up with.
Yeah, and I do want to mention there too with the whole community is that kind of reminded me that we didn't come up with this. This isn't our original idea. Jonathan LeClaire from Battle Driven podcast is the original one who hosted
Battle
this.
Driven. Yeah.
And so he was gracious enough to share it and has shared it with multiple people. So maybe at some point even we could have, if we get 8 people across the country, we could have a potential King of Coins, King of North America, because I believe Canada is going to be doing something similar.
Oh, yeah, I actually heard rumblings about another community doing a King of Coins event as well.
Yeah. So those guys, it's been done. They all had a good time. It was fun. They talk about it a little more in depth. So yes, we definitely thank them for this. We're just kind of helping facilitate it in the local area.
Yep. So Dan, if I am a player and I want to participate in the King of Coins event, how much is it going to cost me?
Just $5. That's the initial. Is if you just want to be a part of it, be able to challenge for that coin. $5.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, it's an easy. Casual.
And is there a limit to how many people can participate?
No, we'll take 8 is kind of our minimum, all the way up to 100.
Yeah, we need at least 8 for the invitational, but obviously the more the merrier, right?
Yes.
And so if we have 16, 17, 18 players who want to participate in the King of Coins, theoretically, when I walk into my weekly game shop, there might be someone there with a coin that I could challenge, or I might have a coin that someone would want to challenge me with.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, there might be 3 or 4. I mean, the way a lot of the guys around here travel, if we can get, get a good number.
Like I said, we have a lively meta right now. So, and then let's say we get through the season, and let's say that I am one of the fortunate players who has a coin, and I get to participate in the invitational. Is there anything extra that I have to do for that?
Yes. So we are going to, since we're doing just $5 for the initial, is request if you make it in is $5 for the day of the steamroller. So if you make it and you're part of the top 8, it's basically $10 for you.
$10 total, yeah.
Total.
Which isn't bad, giving what a cost of a normal event would be.
Precisely. That's kind of what we're aiming for is, again, get more people who want to do it somewhat casual and a good excuse maybe just to kind of help motivate them out there. And then really only pay a little bit more if you get to play in the final, which then has the better stakes for the prizes.
Right, you get more prizes, yeah. And so speaking of prizes, during the season, we're going to be issuing 2 different kinds of prizes. What is one of them?
All right, so I guess we can start all the easy one. During the season, right, we will have basically a sportsmanship prize is what we want to put across, again, kind of help motivate that. And then along with that is a longest defense streak prize. Well,
let's talk about that sportsmanship one
first.
So that one is going to be voted on by the players who participate in the event. So it's kind of going to be an open ballot, if you will. At the end of the season, we'll ask for nominations for, who you thought had the best sportsmanship during the course of the season, right?
Yes.
I like that. And then and that way we're not necessarily making the call, because we obviously can't be at every store every game night, to be around for that. And so if someone has a positive experience, just, bank that in your memory. And at the end of the season, when it's time to nominate someone for the sportsmanship, whoever kind of gets the most nominations will rise to the top and be the, win that prize.
Be the cool guy.
Be the cool guy, yeah. Be the nice guy that everyone likes to play against. And then the second prize, I'm really excited about the second one. And so what is this one, Dan?
All right, I was jumping the gun a little bit.
Yeah.
So the longest defense streak.
What is that?
Yeah. So this is you're showing up and people are challenging you, but you are denying them.
Ooh. So if you keep winning and you keep holding your coin, and if you have the highest streak of wins possessing your coin, you're going to win that longest defense streak.
Yep.
Nice. That's a really clever, I think that's a clever prize. And I think that'll help promote that casual competitive feel we're trying to go for.
Right. Keeps it there a little bit and, helps make you maybe get out there and, maybe you defend it 10, 15 times.
So, Dan, let's say at the end of the season, and it's the last day, and I have a coin, and someone challenges me, and we play, and I lose the coin. Am I going to be invited to the Invitational?
Well, if you don't have a coin,
oh,
then
okay,
you're kind of out.
No, okay, let's flip it. So let's say it's the last day, and I'm meeting up with someone, and they have a coin, and I challenge them to a coin, and I win it. Do I get invited to the Invitational?
Then you're in.
So the only thing that matters is on midnight of the last day, if I have a coin, I'm invited to the Invitational.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
That's
Good.
It's like your secret, cool guy club initiative token to get in.
I love it. So, all right. Well, let's talk a little bit of logistics. Okay. So we have 8 coins, and we have 4 for each of the original factions, and you'll have the symbol on them as well. And how are those going to be distributed in the beginning?
So, to do it kind of in a fair way and reward our listeners a bit, we want to essentially say, starting now, hit us up. We're in Discord, we have email. Find a way to get a hold of us and say, I want to participate.
Okay.
And the first 8 that do so will get the 8 coins.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward.
And you get to pick the faction you want to start out with.
First come, first serve. So if you, really like Signar, then, or Kador or Trolls or Circle, and you want that coin to start with, then hit us up, and you have a good chance of being one of the first ones.
Nice. Okay. And then, and it doesn't matter what store I play at.
Correct.
Okay. And I can travel from store to store.
Yep.
And I can even play in someone's home.
Yep.
As long as it's 75 points on the clock.
Correct.
Done. Okay.
Standard steamroller.
Okay. And when does the season start?
So we are going to kick the season off on March 4th.
Nice. And that's the Monday after the PDX Open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the big PDX Open. That should be really cool.
And then the season's going to end?
And then we are going to go for about 7 weeks and end on April 14th.
I like that. So all reporting needs to be done by midnight on April 14th, which is a Sunday night.
Yes.
Because we want to read the top 8 names. We're going to record a podcast episode on the 15th, and we want to read your names on the episode. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And that will give, hopefully everyone that feel of, hey, we're gonna throw you out there and recognize you for playing and getting your coin. And then that also should hopefully give enough time for the invitational that we want to put on April 27th. So
I like that.
that'll give you just about 2 weeks to know if you're in.
Yep.
And then be able to plan accordingly.
So let me ask you a weird question, maybe not a weird question. Let's say on week 1, I'm really loving Zakar, and I'm playing Zakar, but I graduate, and let's say I started playing Morgul 2 or something. Does it matter what lists I play during the season?
Nope, lists do not matter. Casters don't matter. Factions don't matter. You want to change up your faction midstream? Go for it.
All that matters is that it's a 75-point match on the clock, and the 2 players agree it's a challenge.
Yes.
Okay. And that's another thing, too. You have to agree that it's a challenge before deployment.
Yeah, figure that out first. Now, granted, if you're holding the coin and you're sitting down at your game like that, we really encourage you to not decline the challenge. Now, I understand if sometimes people are like, hey, I only have a half hour to play, so I'm not going to be able to get a legit game in. The store's closing in an hour. There's no way we're going to be able to finish the game.
Yeah.
I understand. Or you could even maybe start it, and who knows what happens. Yeah. But if a store closes and you've got to go, then it just kind of gets a push.
I think the language, I think the language we're using is the coin bearer has to make every reasonable attempt to honor a challenge.
Yes.
And so things like that, extenuating circumstances, those are outside of your control. You're not going to be penalized for that.
Correct.
But if you're a coin bearer, and let's say you're traveling for work, and you're going to be gone for 5 of the 7 weeks, maybe you should participate.
That's one of those.
Or pass your coin on to someone else.
Possibly pass your coin to somebody else at that point. I mean, feel free to participate, as if you come back, you could still win it.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, if you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to be out of state for 5 weeks, it's kind of, that little self-policing of let's be fair to our community and our people that we know, as you're probably going to see them again. And, you'll hear about it for a long time, I bet, if you pick up and leave.
And then on that final day, on April 27th, it doesn't matter what list I play again. I bring
Correct.
2 standard lists to to an event, and just like a normal steamroller.
Yeah, that one's gonna be more normal steamroller. You can't switch your faction in between those games.
Yeah, yeah, good call.
Let's make that clear. Is during the whole open play, that's fine, but on the final day, just treat it like a normal 8-person steamroller that's going on. So again, get your standard lists, and I should mention that too is kind of the little bit of honor system too when you're playing your list, that it is a correct list and that your opponent might want to verify that you are a legal list as well, because we're not going to be policing every list.
Right. Yeah, it has to be a mutually agreed upon endeavor.
Yeah.
So,
Scenario,
and we trust you. We're all adults,
right?
Except for Oz, but he's policeable.
Yeah, we'll start him off with the trolls.
Yeah.
And with that is obviously scenarios. We're not pushing out the scenarios on what you play. What you play is what you play.
Yeah.
We're not concerned about what your CP was, what your army points were.
It's just win.
Did you win or not?
And so if the coin changes hands, we want you to report to to Dan and me. You could do that on the Discord server. Just give us an @ and we're gonna be updating that on the regular. We'll update it on the Discord servers, both on COG Collective, Spellstorm Miniatures, and we'll update it on the website. And we'll just do first name and last initial or something if you're shy about sharing all of your details. But and then as far as payment goes, we didn't talk about this. We accept cash.
Definitely.
And then
we can set up PayPal.
We can do a PayPal.
Like that.
So we'll put out a PayPal email address, and then you can be able to pay that way as well. And we'll just keep track of the number of participants. And like I said, we're hoping to get a high number. We want to see as many people involved and just having fun over the course of the season. Once again, the season's going to go from March 4th to April 14th. And the invitational is going to be the 27th, and it's going to be at Guardian Games. And so it's a kind of a central location, kind of East Siders, West Siders, folks from Vancouver and folks from Salem. You can all meet at Guardian. You guys, we're all pretty familiar with Guardian is. So
yeah, and then that will also give some room for spectators. I mean, let's just you don't have to just have a coin to come check things out. Like if you just want to watch it, we should have room for watching as well. Let's put that out there.
Boy, Dan, I'm really excited about this. Like I said, I think it's a great time to be a War Machine player, and this season is going to be amazing.
Right. So. There's just so much going on. So again, like you're mentioning, we have more full set of the rules all laid out. Kind of a lot to take in. Again, basically, if you want to play, it's $5. Just let one of us know. You don't have to pay us right away. If you see us there and on a Wednesday night or something, hand over. That's great. If you can't like PayPal while you're like about to play a guy, we'll figure that out. Yeah. Right. Try to win your coins after the season. The 8 coins. Go to the invitational. Play that out, and all the prizes we have listed there. Again, basic Steam.
And it'll be first come, first serve, and you communicate with us electronically. Everything's timestamped, so we'll be able to see. So if someone scoops you and like, oh, I wanted that coin. Oh, dang.
Yeah, we'll see if we get 10 emails by the end of the evening.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, so why don't we just kind of transition towards our hobby desk and the events that are coming up around our area. And so Dan, let's talk about your hobby. What are you building right now?
All right. Well, first off, I know at least there's one listener who's always intentively giving us some questions if we finished. But yes, I finished my Earthborn. For the most part, I'm not happy with the base necessarily. I was going for like a Shattered Glacier look, and it's not quite what I want, so I'll probably end up redoing it. But anyway, I got a snowy Earthborn ready to rumble now.
Okay, so you've just been painting, no
Yeah,
no building?
That's the painting. Yeah, building side I haven't really done anything. I actually don't know what I'm going to paint next, really. I got to kind of figure that out.
Yeah. I know that I've been building a lot. I've got some non-War Machine things that are kind of on the hobby table at the moment. I've got some Death Guard and some Demons of Nurgle stuff that I've been kind of playing around with. And then obviously we've got some Shadespire things I've been putting together. And then, but I have a champions list that I want to play. And so I've been assembling the pieces for that. And one of the pieces is the Desert Hydra, and that thing's just a monster. So I'll be working on that again tonight at Rune and Board.
Nice.
So
yeah, I did hear a nice tip on the Discord there. Someone was talking about some of those plastic kits is warm water.
Yeah.
Dip your non-flexible pieces in the warm water there, and then try to mold it on there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think my Desert Hydra is going to gain 10 pounds in the amount of green stuff that I'm going to be using to kind of fill some of those gaps. But I know that once it gets built, I'm going to appreciate having it built.
Yeah, I hear it's a scorn rite of passage.
That's what I have heard. So, but yeah, my hobby desk, my tools of the trade have been my X-Acto knife and my clippers and my file and my glue. Not so much my paintbrush and paints. And it also doesn't help that I've been traveling a lot, and so I haven't had as much hobby time as I would have hoped.
Yeah.
So, but I have one more trip in early March, and I guess mid March, and then I think I'll be home for a while. So that'll be good.
All right.
So we have a lot of upcoming regular events, and Ben did a fabulous job pinning this in the general chat of the COG Collective Discord server. Did you know that we have regular game nights around the Portland area 4 nights a week? And
wow.
Isn't that amazing? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you're looking for a game on Monday nights, the place to go is Guardian. And if you're looking for a game on Tuesday nights, the place to go is Tournament Games. And that's the new startup that's in Gresham, I think. And I don't know the fellow's real name, but Corban, I think, is his Discord name. He's the one who's kind of organizing that, and I think they're running a Journeyman League at the moment right now.
Yes.
And which is exciting because a lot of those players, I think, are returning players, and so it's cool to see that happening. Good report on the first event. I think he had 4 or 5 or 6 folks there, I think, and including him, and I think he was hobbying or something. So anyway, Tuesday nights at Tournament Games, and then Wednesday nights, of course, at Rune and Board for those Westsiders, and then on Thursday nights at Portland Game Store. I have not been to Tournament Games, but I can speak highly of all 3 of those games. And then we have regular tournaments. The first part of the month, you'll on a Sunday, and it kind of depends on the month on which Sunday it is.
Yeah.
We'll be at Rune and Board. Last part of the month is going to be at Portland Game Store. And then monthly, Next Level Gaming down in Salem also hosts. All of these things get shared on the COG Collective events page. And so because the dates sometimes vary, we don't have that information at hand at the moment. But check out the COG Collective events page, and you'll know about all the events that are happening in our area. Dan, what can you tell us about the PDX Open?
All right, so the PDX Open, that's going to be a Warfare Weekend qualifier, which is very exciting.
Woohoo!
Yeah, first one in the area, and that was graciously put on by Jeff and Ben, I believe, are the main runners of that.
I think so. I think there's one more person. I think James is involved too.
James is part of that too. Okay, so I mean, a couple of our main judges and our event organizers, and they're putting that up. That's going to be at the Heathman Hotel, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's March 2nd. There's still time to sign up.
Yep.
So go ahead and we have links on that on our Facebook page. It's floating around Facebook otherwise. It's, again, I think on the COG Collective.
On the COG Collective, yeah.
Jump in and ask about it. But that is looking at trying to get upwards of 64 people. I believe it's $35 to be a part. It's going to be an all-day event, about 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. I believe is what it's scheduled.
They're going to do 5 rounds and all in one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So come. We did get the important announcement that alcohol is allowed in the venue.
That's right. I think the verbiage was they are welcome to take their drinks from the bar into the event room.
Yes.
Which made a few of our War Machine players pretty happy.
Yes. So
we won't be driving. I think Laura has offered to carpool some folks in our area down, and so that way we don't have to deal with parking or anything either. And she has a van, and so I've already extended an invitation to some of my closer friends, and so pretty excited about that. And I think it's gonna be a great day. And the Heathman, I love the Heathman. I've gone there for brunch and things like that. It's a nice place. So, yeah. That same month, though, later in the month, is the Seattle Open, and that's going to be March 25th, and that's at Mox Boarding House in Seattle. This one is also a Warfare Weekend qualifier, right? You get points for it. Yeah.
If you finish first, you get an automatic pass, and otherwise point based. Okay,
so that's exciting. If you, for those of you that are competitive War Machine players and you're looking for opportunities to go to Warfare Weekend, you have 2 in the same month. For those of you that are not competitive, but just want an opportunity to get in some games and get some reps in and just meet some new people and make friends, these events are so good, and just they attract a lot of players from around the region, and I always have fun at them. Like I remember, like the I-5, for example, is one of my most favorite events because I get to meet people from California all the way to Canada, and it's great. And so hopefully the PDX Open can attract players like that, and then hopefully the Seattle Open the same. And we're hoping to make these a regular event on the calendar every year. So, and then the 3-man tournament that was going to be that was scheduled for February 9th got messed up because of some snow.
Yeah, just a little bit.
There's some folks from the valley who couldn't make it through the pass safely, and which was completely reasonable. And so that event has been rescheduled to April 6th. And I think that's great, except there was another event that I was planning on going during that snow weekend that also got moved to April 6th. That was the Ambuscade. It's a 1-day historical gaming event. And so I was going to go and I was going to get my Napoleonics on. And but I might I'm going to see if the Jer Bears are interested in playing in the 3-man, and if they are, then I'll think about going. And if not, I'll probably stick with the Ambuscade. So we'll see.
Resurrect those Jer Bears.
You know what? That was a great experience for me, and I love those guys. They're great guys. So I'll send them a message. Hey, that's about it. Can you give us the secret password to get that 10% off at Hidden Forest Gaming?
Yes, that is going to be Spellstorm 10, just like the name spelled out. 10 caps, lowercase, doesn't matter. All just no spaces.
Yeah, it was so good to finally record again and to kind of have these conversations. And I'm looking forward to getting back on the regular schedule. So, any closing thoughts for you, Dan?
No, again, just thank you for everyone listening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Find us at spellstormminiatures.com. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube. We have our own Discord server if you want to join us there, and we talk about all kinds of games and whatnot. And we hope to just have more interactions with you folks. So, all right, have a good one, and see you around.